Vides, and I'm the founder of Winning on Wednesday. Winning on Wednesday is a place where we meet every Wednesday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And the purpose is to simply to get to know each other. I always say people do business who they know, like, and trust. And knowing, liking, and trusting. And for the second time back again, welcome. I'd like to welcome Marc Mathys. How you doing, Mark?
I am doing really good. And yourself, Juan?
Very good, very good. So quickly tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm Marc Mathys from Montreal, Canada, and I have a company called Reset It. And what we get to do is we teach people how to reset the things that don't belong to them. What I mean by the things that don't belong to them is that we have 50 to 60,000 thoughts per day, and these thoughts are based on our programs and conditionings and beliefs. And what we do is teach you how to reset those programs and conditioning in a really simple, easy way to do it. And that's basically what we get to do.
Exactly, and I've been through the program myself, and I know myself. So that this, and we talk about programs and conditions. So let's get into it. I would like to talk about it. So tell us more about that.
Well, we all grew up in a family environment, and this environment we learn from our parents, our society. When you were 3 to 4 years old, you were playing in the sandbox, and you were just you were just being what I call present in the actions you were doing. Then what happens is that we get our family unit starts transferring their programs and conditioning onto us, and they transfer their beliefs onto us. So what happens is that after 3, 4 years old, we start learning the programs and conditioning, and we start adapting ourselves to these programs and conditioning. And these programs and conditionings run our lives. And sometimes when we have a program that we received from our parents about money or success or anything else that comes with it, well, that's the program we follow, and we can't get out of the program until you reset that program.
And it's like they say, people when they think about problems, they think about more problems. So it generates more problems.
Well, that's the thing, is that in our brain, the way that our brain works is that once we repeat something in our mind that comes from other people, meaning our programs and conditioning, talking about our problems, this is a program. So what happens in the quantum energy field is this is what you're sending out to the universe saying, I want more problems.
Mhm.
Well, guess what? You're going to get more problems because that's what you're asking for. So let's just switch it around. When you're what I call the state of presence, the state of presence is the absence of your programs and conditioning. So when you're in that place where who you are, and you start thinking about what you want in your life, well, that is the energy that you circulate, and that's what you receive from other people. It's fascinating how this works.
Absolutely. And you talk about the quantum,
Yeah.
tell the audience about there a little bit more about the quantum, especially people that don't know what that is about. I mean, I'm familiar with it, but maybe you could probably just tell us a little bit about that and how that works and the energy.
Well, the simplest part of quantum energy, when you were young, when you were thinking about somebody, and that person that you put in your mind reached out to you. They gave you a call, or I was thinking about you, and they gave you a call, or they reach out and they had a conversation with you. Well, once that thought of that person is sending out in the quantum energy field, and if they're open to receive it, they will receive it, and that's why they call you back. Another thing about another thing about quantum energy, if you take a cell in, let's say I take a cell in my body, and I cut that cell in half, and I keep it alive, and I send it to you in New York. What happens in the quantum energy field is that if I do a modification in my cell here in Montreal, automatically that cell is going to change where you are.
Wow.
So when you put this, when you know this, and your
Yeah.
process goes into a place that you don't want to go, well, guess what? That's what you're sending
Wow.
out in the
Yeah.
quantum energy field.
And you could tie in this with Dr. Moto, right? Emoto, Dr.
Yeah,
Moto.
Dr. Emoto is the same. His research was about, he did a rice test, which is the rice test is that he cooked a pot of rice, white rice, and he put it in 3 different containers. And his language that he was speaking to the first container, oh, I love you, you're beautiful, all these affirmations of nice, beautiful stuff. And the second one, he would say, "Oh, you're ugly. I don't like you. I detest you. You're not working well. All is I'm not making money." All these things that we were telling ourselves, that's what he was telling it in the to the rice. For 30 days he did this. And the third container, he just left alone, ignored. So what happened after 30 days is that rice that he had the more positive stuff to stayed white after 30 days. The
Right.
second one was brown and black. And the third one, which he ignored, was a mixture of white and black. So what this is teaching us is that what it's showing us is that whatever the way that we think, the way that we talk has an energy attached to it. And that energy has a reflection on the people and the events that you're in. So when you're in a public place one and you have this person in front of you, but it doesn't really, the energies doesn't feel right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, they are transferring their programs and conditioning that energy to you.
Yes, correct.
And that's lighting something else inside of us.
Hmm.
What we do in a program is we reset those triggers so that it doesn't light you up anymore.
Right. And you've been in the places where, the scene or the place is not great. It doesn't feel that, you don't feel that vibe. It's just that energy. It's like, oh, this is not a good place. We shouldn't be here. Let's just, you could always feel that. And within it.
So what your body's telling, don't forget, your 50 to 60 trillion cells that you have in your body.
Wow, 50 trillion.
So what's happening is that you're receiving that negative energy, and your body's telling you, oh, this is not a place for me. So you have to make a choice to do something else to get out of there, or meet another person. But your body will always tell you that the person that you're in front of, would you buy from this person?
This is fascinating, and we talk about the cellular level here before. You're saying how it updates two cells, the updates in with two different locations. Is fascinated with that. Would that say with it's recorded? Does that stay the preconditions? Does that stay within the DNA, and can that change the preconditions? You talk about the preconditions of, like, how people have gone through trauma, or the history of the family have gone through similar trauma. So there's a lot of that. Does that stay within the DNA, and does it transfer to the DNA to the next generation?
Yeah, well, the answer is yes. There's a couple of factors in there. Is that so if somebody, let's say your father had a traumatic incident when he was growing up, and he was talking about it in the house, and he wasn't happy about that event. When you're a kid, you absorb this energy, so that becomes your reality as well.
Mm.
And then when you grow up, well, that reality comes in and you do the same thing. Oh, my father did this, my father did that, to our kids. So this changes for generations to generations. So we start believing in these things, but it has nothing to do with us. And what happens in the cellular part is the same thing. When we start believing things that don't belong to us, that reacts in our body, and our body is telling us, hey, this doesn't belong to you, but we're not listening to it. So what happens in the cells is that now you're not listening to your body anymore. The food that you're putting in your body, the thought that you're putting in your body, you're not listening to it. So the body's going to create something that you have to listen to it.
Mm.
That's where the sicknesses come in. That's where the cancer comes in. That's where everything starts, because we're not listening to the body. We're not listening to these. We're not taking care of these programs and conditioning. So at the cellular level, the DNA, by the food that you put in your body, the way that you think about things, has a direct influence on your DNA. Our bodies regenerate every 7 years. Is it 7 years? Yeah, our liver goes back into it's a continuous changing in our body. So we're regenerating our cells all the time. So if we're putting things into our body and things on our body and in in our mind, well, guess what? That's going to change at the end. Again, we had an event this week with our members of our team and our invites, and where you were there too.
Yeah, what's that?
Lynn was talking about when she hit her head in the pool,
Yes.
and that triggered her back into her childhood when she hit her head before.
Oh wow.
So that memory is always there in our cells.
Mm-hmm.
So when that comes up, well, your body it goes into a place as the first time you did it, and your body goes back into it. So that your stress hormones go up, everything goes up. And then once we worked, we resetted that issue, all the symptoms just went away because that memory cell is not there anymore. You resetted that cell. So this is amazing, amazing stuff.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
There's beautiful, beautiful research out there now, and with the like I was telling you before we got online, is that when I did my research for 5 years, I was researching it, and then I just put on my blog post that now that I'm writing about it, so I'm going back into my research, and now I'm realizing I'm living that what I've learned. And now I can show people of how this works and how it works in words and sessions now. So it's just a way of when you're in that quantum energy of who you are, everything works for you. Everything that you make a choice in that in your state of presence, where the absence of your programs and conditioning, that becomes your reality.
Right. And especially now, what's going on in the world today, with everything, with inflation, everything, COVID, a lot of, there's a lot of stress, negativity, and that puts a lot of stuff in our bodies, like you said,
Yeah.
putting all that into our bodies. But I noticed that, and after I did your program, by the way, being present in the state of present and being positive has helped me, generate more abundance, being positive and being with a mindset, not thinking about my problems, but being in a different mindset, being present, as you said, that has helped me tremendous. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. Yeah.
Well, it's beautiful what you said is that when you are in a state of presence, you attract the things based on you. So your energy is there and you're just there and doing what you need to do in the moment you need to do it. Where before in the programs and conditioning, what was happening was that with your customers, this is please don't buy from me because of the programs and conditionings and beliefs that you had. So when you resetted those issues, the issues, it's just that you resetted the things. Once you resetted it, well, then now you're available for you first, and that's what's transferred over to other people.
Oh, 100%. I'm a 100%. You may be a believer, 100%. So I had to believe it. I believe in the quantum. So thank you for that. And this is a pleasure. So, and the hope that this can help other people too. Because it does work, folks. It does definitely work. And I can just say thank you. But again, it just puts you in a different mindset and it puts you in the presence. It makes you aware of what you're doing.
Yeah, and the thing is that everybody in the world needs a reset. What I mean by this is that they've learned things that doesn't belong to them. Now they don't know it. Some people don't know it. They're living their lives, which is they're doing their stuff, but we are all programmed. All of us. There's no good or bad programming. There's just programming. See, when you think about a poor person, well, they're programmed and conditioned to be poor because that's the program that they receive. And the same thing when you're rich, well, it's the rich program. So when you reset those programs and you make choices based on who you are, the choices, the money that you want to make, money becomes a choice to make. It's not an obligation anymore.
Yeah.
And that is a beautiful state to be in. When you make your choices based on who you are in this moment,
Right.
it's just amazing things happen.
100% without any preconditions. They just
No,
being
exactly.
Yep, exactly. At this point of the of our interview, I like to call the golden nugget moment. Is there any piece of advice that you'd like to give to somebody who's starting their career, like an entrepreneur or anybody to better their career? Like maybe they're stuck in their career right now and they don't know. But what piece of advice that you learned in your journey of what you are today that you can tell?
See, if I give you an advice, all I'm doing is transferring my stuff onto you. The best thing for anybody that's making a change, they want to change their jobs, or they're in university, or they want to change their way of doing things. Book a sessions with our people. We've got 12 people on board with us.
And growing.
and growing and growing. We're growing every day. So
Right.
what happens is that it'll take you 2 sessions of 90 minutes to go through the sessions. And after that, you and only you will make the choices for you, not on advices of everybody else. Because don't forget, when you receive advice from other people, they are transferring their programs and conditioning onto you. That might not work for you. It works for them, but it's not working for you, because if you adapt something that and somebody else is doing, you're just copying the same program and condition of them.
Hmm.
Well, when you're in the state of presence with the absence of all these things, you can make choices. Now, that's not saying that if I need to talk to you about the web design, have that conversation with you of the work that you do and how you do it. Well, that's like, you're not giving me advice. I'm asking you the question of how you're working. So you're not giving me advice anymore. It's just a conversation we're having.
Oh
You
yeah.
understand it?
No, I understand, but again, it was more for me is it's just like so to help just help people because the way that I see it is that we are given this life, right? And
Yeah,
we wouldn't want to leave a legacy. That's all of
yeah,
a positivity, and leaving it behind so that somebody can help somebody else some down the road. Who we never know, somebody be 10 years, 5 years
and
might be watching this video, and they might get some positivity out of it. That's the
yeah,
whole purpose of these, the golden nugget, as I like to say, to
yeah,
give something to leave behind, and maybe in 100 years that you're not here, they
yeah.
can play back and see
Yeah,
this. So
well,
it's more of a legacy of
yeah.
leaving something positive so that you can leave it behind.
And I love the question about legacy, and I was thinking about that before. It says I don't want this program to die with me, so I put things in place that will never die. I have people on board with me that are going to continue the work. So if something happens to me, if I, in 50 years from now, when I'm gone, well, the work is still continue doing. And when people want to do things, the only thing that we can do, one, is to be who we are. And that energy is enough for the other person to say, hey, I I want to have a conversation with this guy. I want to know this guy. I want to be part of his life. I want to do things with him because of who he is. Now, imagine the world doing this, being present in the actions they're doing, not all the BS that's going around the world, but being present in the actions you're doing with your human beings all together. It's a life-changing system.
100%.
So if everybody's doing what they're doing, there's no, you do what you need to do in the moment you need to do it.
Right. And you need that reset. People
Yeah.
definitely need that reset.
That's
Um,
why there's 8 billion people in the world. We're building our team, getting things done. We've got a lot of work ahead of us.
Absolutely. But you're having fun and you're enjoying
Oh,
it.
it's so much fun to do. And
It's like,
it's our sessions is not, it's easy to do. We're having so much fun in it as well. It's not all, and the thing is that we don't even have to know what you went through. Remember, when you're going through the program, you
right.
didn't have to tell me all the stuff that you went through. You
Correct.
just visited in your mind and you went back and you reset it.
Relived it. Yeah. Relived that
Yeah,
moment. Yeah.
and that's it.
Absolutely.
So that's the
Absolutely.
way that's the way that our program works.
So tell us what's going on with you today with what's going on. I know you relaunched a new website and you can tell us about that. And I know you showed it to us. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, I wanted to do something a little bit different than what everybody else is doing. So I cleaned up my website. I put it's really easy. It flows really nice. There's not too much information on it. What I wanted is that you got a couple sentences to read. You like what it says, book an appointment. If you don't like don't book an appointment. That's okay. But and then what I did, I added on to this, like some people were asking me more questions about how the program works and everything else, what's the science behind it. Well, we just open up a new blog page, which is our resource page. So they can go in, if they want to go in to have a deep dive into it and learn more about it, we have there's thousands of words talking about the reset program on quantum physics. We got the science behind it. We've got all the interviews, the testimonials are there. Everything, if you need that information, is there for you now.
Yeah, it's wonderful. A lot of great information. So if you really like to learn a little bit more, what's the website, Mark?
It's www.reset-it.ca.
Okay, excellent. So definitely check that out. And anything else new that you got having for this year that exciting, any future goals that you got planned or you want to share with us?
A year ago, Juan, had an opportunity to start teaching this to other people, meaning they became certified specialists through my program a year ago. I would never have planned this going forward.
Wow.
So for me to plan, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
But the thing is that because I'm who I am in this moment, things and events will come to me.
Right.
Like we're doing now, things and events will come to me, and that's having that conversation.
And
So you do this, repeat this all the time. Everything's changing at the same time for me. So it's just a
that's it.
beautiful place to be.
And I'm smiling because prior to this our meeting here, we had a pre-meeting, and Mark was just sharing somebody that he had was a radio show, right? And I was like, it quickly lit up, because then we were just talking about the quantum, how you were putting that out, and I said it's coming back to you like a boomerang, and I can't wait to make that introduction.
Thank you very much. That's what this is. This is the work that everybody can do by being present in the actions they're doing. That's all it is.
Yep, exactly.
So it's not influenced by ego. It's not influenced by money. It's not influenced by anything. It's based on you. And that boomerang we were talking about comes back to you in tenfold.
100%,
Yeah.
yeah. But and thank you, Mark, for sharing this information today. And if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to contact you?
Yeah, on my website, everything is there. You've got the resource page, and you've got all our members of our team is there. You can pick and choose which one you want. It's a free call, a 30-minute free call if you want to talk to us. Reach out to them and talk to our members of our team. Talk to two of them at the same if you want to talk to them and get some information. And never. The thing is that when you want to choose somebody, it's got to be feeling well for yourself first. And then you could choose anyone on the team and just have a conversation. If it fits, hire them. If it doesn't fit, it's not for you.
Wow, 30 minutes free consultation.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Well, again, thank you so much, Mark. And if you'd like to be a guest in our show, Winning on Wednesday, simply just sign up on our forum, winningonwednesday.com, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Juan, for having me.